Hello, this is Jody Shirabi at AstroPod_cast. Welcome to my weekly astrology report for the week of November 22nd through November 29th. We are at the very end of November. Next time I come here, we will be completely getting out of November. And November has been a very volatile and predicted month of chaos, and it has been a lot of chaotic things happening that we're not sure what we're going to do now. A lot of us are confused and rudderless, as they would say, a ship floating in the sea without any direction, without any stars to guide them. And that is what astrology is for. We are interpreting the movement of the stars to help you understand what is to come. And the wind has been wicked all day. Wind gusts of up to 25 degrees, and there is some tremendously volatile weather in the U.S. and in the world right now. So thank you for being here. God bless you, and I hope that you are in a safe spot wherever you may. So the week starts off already today with a big movement. Venus in Capricorn is sextiling Saturn in Pisces. So what does that mean exactly? It is a good thing. It is. Venus in Capricorn is a doer, a planner, because Capricorn is all about long-term systems and corporations. And Capricorn is where Pluto just left. So a lot of things in Capricorn we are throwing away right now, like the belief in institutions and companies and corporations that they have our best interests at heart, right? So those are things that we are kind of releasing right now, is our trust in that, the government. As you can see with the election in the USA, we are no longer trusting our government officials and what they're doing with our tax money. So there's been a little mini revolt here in America in terms of we elected someone that isn't really a career politician. He's a career real estate magnate, and he was born quite rich, and so that's the way it's been going right now. So with Venus in Capricorn here at 12 degrees all month, Venus is in Capricorn all month, and right now it's at 12 degrees, meeting up with Saturn in Pisces. So this is giving us a chance to have long-term support by planning now, your financial planning, your financial goals, because Capricorn is about money and banking. So these are the things we're thinking about, and also maybe you had things you were working on, and now they should be coming to fruition for you with Venus, because Venus also rules over money and your home and your belongings and things that you value, because Venus is all about valuing things. So as you can imagine, with Pluto moving into Aquarius, this is a big deal. And one of the reasons it's a big deal is that there is this 2,000-year cycle of planets moving around and meeting up, Jupiter and Saturn, in this 2,000-year cycle. And this is the last cycle, the fourth time that Pluto will be in Aquarius, and that finishes off the 4 phases of this 2,000-year period. So with Jupiter and Saturn meeting up earlier in the year, it set off this chain of events that Pluto is now here to recognize and push forward, and which is that now with Pluto here, it is beginning the next 200 years of Jupiter and Saturn meeting up in air signs. So basically saying that the next time that Pluto shifts into an air sign, which would be in 2040, it's going to go into Pisces, which is a water sign, and Aries, a fire sign, and then Taurus, an earth sign, like Gemini, like Capricorn, where it just was. And then that next time it shifts, it will go into Gemini. So that's another 200-year cycle before it starts a new cycle. That's for 200 years, where it only meets up in the air sign. Jupiter and Saturn we're talking about right now. So this is a big deal in terms of our humanness evolving every 2,000 years in terms of our being, our minds, the way we think and communicate, because air is communication. All these things are going to shift and change, especially right here with Aquarius being a fixed air sign, and it is the sign of the people coming together. So everything you do for the next 19 to 20 years, you want to involve your community, you want to involve a group of people. Like for me, I've chosen Sundance Film Festival volunteers to be a group of, I went to in 2019 after Capricorn, after Pluto shifted to Capricorn, and I was thinking about work as Capricorn. So I work in long-term growth, and what could I do now as a mom that's at home? What could I do that could last me until Pluto goes into Aquarius, which it is now? And so here we are. And I'm going back this year to volunteer. This will be my 6th year volunteering, but 5th year of attending, because of 1 year they called it off because of COVID protocol. So during this Jupiter Neptune conjunction, we are being asked to level up. So as Pluto stays here in Aquarius now, we are being sent messages through our brain, through our communication, through the air, from the solar, from the cosmic energy, through the air, because Aquarius is air. It's coming into us and downloading and changing the way we think and communicate. It's going to change a lot of things, because Aquarius also rules innovations to computers and digital age. All that is going to be coming in. Cryptocurrency will most likely take off, because money and the way we handle money has changed. Everything is now a digital wallet. So we don't do the same thing we used to do anymore with our money. So what's happening is that progress is going to speed up tremendously, that we may not be able to keep up with it. So this is the reason that we're going to get Mercury going to retrograde on the 25th. Mercury begins its retrograde phase in Sagittarius, and it's going to be there for a while, retrograding. And as it retrogrades, we're going to be given that chance to think about how we can upgrade the way we communicate, the way we talk to each other, how we raise our children, how we deal with other human beings when things aren't going the way we might want. Because we all need each other on this earth to exist, and without certain people, things won't get done. And I don't think a lot of people understand that we kind of need things, because we're in an age where we need services. And so if there is an upgrade in human services, then everything will be great. But a lot of people do not want to do these jobs that migrants come in and do, like lawn work. In Florida, it's not so much like that, but I know in other places it is. I know in Illinois it was like that. But here, it's not so much like that. And so there's all kinds of people that do things that you just don't even know that you need them to do. And they have to get paid a fair wage to keep up with inflation. So that's where we're at. So we're up-leveling the way we think and deal with each other. And Aquarius and Pluto and Aquarius is really going to rock the boat like it did 200 years ago during all the revolutions, the French Revolution, the American Revolution, and all these things are set to start really moving along in 2026. So Mercury will be napping from the 25th, which is Friday, until December 15th. And Mercury will be retrograding here. It starts at 22 degrees. And it's going to head back to 6 degrees of Sagittarius. So we have a chance during the holiday to relax, to reunite, to review our New Year's resolution. So take that time, which is now, to really be careful how you communicate and if your message is getting across correctly. And I'm going to probably start to slow down because Mercury rules my chart quite a bit. Even though it rules my midhaven, it rules partially my sunshine, born at the very end of Leo and beginning of Virgo. It rules a lot of things in my life, so I know I'll be slowing down. It's a great time in terms of it's the holidays. I'll just be cooking, decorating. It's going to be good. And Mars also begins to retrograde. Mars is in Leo, my sun. So a lot of things are starting to slow down. My plants are in the ground. They're doing well. Now we're hunkering down for the winter. And for us, this winter couldn't be more beautiful. Like, this is like perfect weather for us. And there was a storm the past couple of days. And last night, the wind was so strong. I woke up in the middle of the night, had to look out here. And it knocked some of my plants over on the table over here. And I realized that this is Pluto going into Aquarius, and the wind is going to pick up big time over the next 20 years. And the wind itself is a lot of the reason of the tidal waves. And there's a cyclone bomb over in Washington, Oregon area. And when you see that on the map, on the satellite, how big the cyclone is, which is basically a hurricane, but never hits land. It looked like Helene or Oscar. Not Oscar, Helene and Milton. But they don't have a name for those cyclones, and it looks like they might have to start having names for those cyclones, because that cyclone has done a lot of damage, and it's absolutely terrifying. So it doesn't matter what coast you're on, it doesn't matter where you live, inland, outland, it doesn't really matter, highland, lowland. There's flooding, there's landslides, there's just a lot of change and death occurring with Pluto. Pluto is the death of thoughts and ideas that no longer help us to evolve. Pluto being Aquarius is doing that. It is going to rid us of the way we communicate with each other, and it will prepare us for when Pluto moves into Neptune. And like I said, the North Node in January moving to Neptune, it will help us to be kinder, nicer, speak to each other with respect, try not to be destructive. If you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. And I know that's difficult, especially with Pluto ending its rulership in Capricorn, where Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. It can be cranky and want perfection, and that's not always available. In Aquarius, Pluto will give us a chance to learn. And with the Sun just moving into Sagittarius on the 21st here, this combination of Pluto and Aquarius with the Sun and Sag is really instigating changes scientifically, how we travel, how we communicate, how we use energy to help produce things. Because there's a lot of production that needs to be done still. And there's plenty of human beings to do it. But they may be replaced by robots unless humans can start to understand that there's always a need for work, and there's always a need for workers. If corporations can start treating humans and pay them as much money as it costs to make a robot, that they will save them money in 50 years or so. If they can support the humanity of who we are and help raise each other up, we could be okay. But the way things are going, life is still the most valuable thing on earth. And that's why I'm talking about trying to make robots replace us is going to be the next big revolution coming up in the next 20 years. And humans will have to fight for their right to survive and work and be able to do a job as good as a robot could do it. So that's where we're at in terms of technology and what Pluto plans to do here in Aquarius. And then the other big deal is that on the 24th through the 26th, there's a Fire Grand Trine. So it looks like a huge triangle, and it's between Aries, all of it's at 19 degrees, and Aries has Chiron there at 19 degrees, and Chiron is retrograde, so the sun is starting to set. So Chiron is going to be there at 19 degrees of Aries, meeting up with Leo and Mars and Leo, who is in the pre-retrograde or retrograde phase pretty soon. And then Sagittarius, who's hosting sleepy Mercury. So we're dealing with a bunch of things that is slowing down while the outer planets kind of wake up. So the outer planets affect the outer world, and the inner planets affect us personally. So with Chiron, the personal healer, this is a really good time to do things you might not want to do, which is get a checkup and check on yourself and see how you're doing. And it's better to do that than be afraid of not doing it and have it go get worse and worse, right? So you don't want to do that. And then Mars and Leo's is going to sleep, and that is going to push us to really think about ourselves, our sovereignty. What is it that we're looking to do the next 20 years with Pluto here in Aquarius? Are we looking to get a house, get another job? What are we envisioning for the next 10, 20 years? This is an important part of this Mercury retrograde, Chiron retrograde, and Mars retrograde. It's time to focus on yourself during the holiday season. And that's a really nice present, actually, from the cosmic universe. You know, you maybe grow your faith during this time and believe in yourself, and maybe you'll get that feeling of everything's going to be okay, because everything will be okay if we all think it's going to be okay. Our mind creates our environment. When a lot of people get together and pray, it really does work and lifts things up. And depending on what you're praying for, be careful. So Mars and Leo is going to go take a nap until December 6th. So it looks like it's going to be when it starts its nap. It's December 6th. I might have that wrong. I'll make sure I'll fix that in my mind. So that's about it for this week. It's not that it's a slow week. It's that it's a week of us adjusting. You know, it's cold. What are we going to do? You know, we got to get ready. And we really have to remember what the holiday season is for, no matter what your religion is. It is for gratitude of what the earth has given us. It is gratitude for the people that we love. It is gratitude for good health. All of these things are what's on the agenda for the holidays, what the cosmic world wants you to think about. And it really wants you to understand that when it comes down to everything, humans are social creatures. So these next 20 years is about branching out and hanging with other people and getting together with your minds and coming up with brilliant ideas, as we always seem to be doing, right? We always have brilliant ideas. So more of that will be going on, and a lot more people will be involved. So when you think there's nothing else you can invent or do, it's all been done, it's not true, right? I remember back in when I was 8th or 9th grade, they had invented a toothbrush that bent like this. It was called the Reach. All toothbrushes were like this, and they invented one like this. And when you put it in your mouth, it was miraculous. You're like, oh my God. So that's all I'm saying. And then Velcro was invented. Genius, right? So all these things came from nature. They were inspired by nature. Because Velcro, as the inventor said, was inspired by taking a walk and coming home with the little prickly things on your leg from the plants that attach themselves to the seeds. So these are things and ideas and reasons why gratitude is a skill you must develop over time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for my new followers on all my pages. And thank you for all the support you've been giving me. I really appreciate it. It gives me more energy to get these podcasts out early, which this one will be, since I am recording it on Thursday nights from now on, so I can upload all night tonight, so I get out to you in the morning. It seems to be the best time, because I know when I wake up, that's when I read all my astrology, and most of the things I plan for, I read for in the morning. So thank you again, and I'll see you next week.